Other posts are gonna come back. I ain't coming back. I'm doing my 3 pieces. I'm eating, and that's that. Okay, and I'm doing 3 pieces because 3 is a symbolic number for me, and I'll tell you 3 reasons why. 1, I took the 3 train to get here. Yeah. Okay. 2, I have 17-year-old triplets. They'll be graduating from high school this month and then going to college.
Congratulations.
My 2 sons are going to NYU and my daughter's going to Binghamton.
Happy Father's Day.
And the most important one, number 3, is that my first poem is going to be out of my book. And hopefully if you like this first poem, I'll sell a minimum of 3 copies.
For how much?
We'll talk.
You know that later? Okay.
Forget ugly. There is only beauty in truth. I dedicate this to the Skittles-eating, Arizona iced tea drinking youth. Every day I write for sonless fathers who say the same prayer every night. Dear God, Zimmerman, amen. So be it. Let's put up a good times picture of Black Jesus, hoping it'll ward off white supremacy, a monstrous beast with skull and bones stuck in its teeth, and a belly that contains the remains of panthers because it got a taste for dog meat. Any interaction with the police, take it serious because racism is playing for keeps. In these streets, 5-0 will shoot a paraplegic 50 times and say that he reached. It's not a reach, major paranoia over a minor traffic stop. If a cop asks you license and registration, that's a trick question. Any hand movement is considered going for a weapon. There's nothing more dangerous than a black person unarmed. The most important meal for the people of color, Lucky Charms. I tell my black sons every day, y'all better eat these pink hearts, yellow moons, orange stars, green clovers, blue diamonds. Because gangbangers ain't the only boys in the hood that's dying, despite parents in the hood trying to ensure their children come home in the same condition they left. But there's no guarantee. Once they step out the door, it can all go left. A good, bad outcome is hard to predict when you encounter the privilege that makes everybody love Raymond, yet hate Chris. What's wrong with this picture? Why we gotta die to have our beauty immortalized in the murals of urban landscapes? At wakes we congregate in ciphers while pouring out malt liquor libations from 40-ounce bottles, because that's as close as we'll get to 40 acres until we hit the lotto. Some say it's impossible to win, but I still take a chance because I got a soft spot for the long shot. I'm talking about the underdog who overcomes odds stacked against them greater than a never-ending game of Jenga. My goal, speak the truth. Even if it causes anger, that's 1 letter short of danger. Hey, yo, messengers get shot every day, B. It killed me seeing a Whole Foods built on Malcolm X Boulevard while I was hungry and homeless, living in a men's shelter, marginalized, seeking refuge between the margins. Call me survivor. My calling, I am a writer with Jeremiah fire shut up in my bones. I spit that 2911 remix. For I know the poems that I have for you. Poems of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and the hope. From my mouth to God's ears I pray in your hearts. May this beautiful truth remain. I have a question. Is there anyone in the audience that can appreciate real honesty?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to give you some real deal Holyfield honesty. I entitled this piece D.A.D. Dishonesty accompanies depression. My children are well versed in depression. They don't ask me, Dad, how are you? Is everything okay? They don't ask such questions because they know I'll lie. Fine. I'm okay. Happy to be alive. See, my lies are not the kind of lies I used to tell when a girlfriend caught me in a lie. No, my days of infidelity have gone the way of the passenger pigeon. The lies I tell today are the kind of lies you tell on a Monday morning in an office elevator while exchanging pleasantries that are not truly intended to invoke details. See, they don't actually want to know how your weekend was. And this is why my kids don't bother with mundane inquiries. They know there's no truth in the answers. Instead, they ask me, did you get out of bed today? When was the last time you showered? Did you eat? Brush your teeth? Have you done any writing? And for my final act, the piece de resistance.
Before
I
dinner.
have to break out the full legal definition. Oh man, this piece here is entitled
You guys gonna rock.
A Few Good Dads. To the fathers who receive a world's greatest coffee mug that's purchased from Dollar Tree and made in China by a child at the local sweatshop. Do not clamor for sincere recognition. It will only be given begrudgingly. Stop dreaming of a day when Pop gets his props on a level comparable to that May Day. May Day, Houston, we have a problem. Padres post-May holiday is anticlimactic, equivalent to being thrown a bone. But know this, if fathers weren't vital, there wouldn't be viral videos of them catching children who fall out chairs, swings, cribs, trees, bunk beds, moving vehicles, windows, and from other heights that heighten gravity's impact upon hitting ground. Despite Rodney Dangerfield treatment, dads have to stick around, not only to control pests, plug leaks, and provide some assembly when required, but simply for their presence. If it wasn't important, there wouldn't be insidious strategic efforts to take dad out the home. Two-parent system overthrown. New rule. You can castle without the king. Separate Ogun from Oshun. Stage a coup against the Iron Throne. Society is anemic. There's a dad deficiency. Financial consultants are advising clients to invest heavily in the growth industry known as single mothers. The road to fatherhood, they're trying to turn it into a bike lane. Not realizing even sons of anarchy need their fathers. Dads are training wheels in human form, a source of security and reassurance. Rest assured, our Father, which art underrated and unappreciated, family court will be mandated. Put some respect on thy name. Yes. That order came straight from Colonel Nathan R. Jessup. He's looking for a few good dads. Why? Because we're building a wall. A huge wall, greater than the one made in China, and you want dad on that wall. You need dad on that wall. Let's go. Let me tell you something. When your youngest child gets off insect repellent sprayed in his eyes by an older sibling, who are you going to call? When things get messy like ectoplasm messy, you call dad, not Ghostbusters. Let me tell you something. When mom just got finished getting her nails done, dad is the only one who can wrestle against principalities, against the world's darkness, against wickedness in high offices, against Thanos. Dad is a superhero, but look closer, past the shield, behind the armor, beyond the utility belt, is a human being, imperfect, yet still deserving more than a matching belt and tie sold only in June. The mug dedicated to dad needs a better PR firm. Maybe the agency that helped Smokey Bear become the longest running ad in history. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. And before I forget, let me admit, This poem was purposely written to go past the limit. It needs to be long. It wants to be long, longer and lengthier than a storyteller that starts off with, well, to make a long story short. Let me tell you something, dads, for you, I will be long-winded. Because for far too long, you've gotten the short end. And this poem will start righting that wrong, writing Dad's return to greatness. From now on, and listen to me, listen to what I'm about to tell you. From now on, nothing goes down unless Dad is involved.
Yes.
No science projects, no PTA meetings, no candy sales. If a Girl Scout cookie gets sold in the park, Dad wants in. Everybody got fat while Dad starved. Now it's his turn
Yes.
to have a seat at the table. Because they say, if you're not seated, you're on the menu.
Let's go, Chloe.
And Dad is ready to place his order.
Woo!
Yes, I'll have the big piece of chicken.
Yeah.